right, so sorry first off for the setup because we're streaming both to Facebook Live and to YouTube. So if you haven't checked out our YouTube channel yet, check it out. But the topic to today is about minerals and how minerals, from what I've seen over the course of helping people with their fat loss, are really kind of the key ingredients to helping people to lose fat. What I notice is that when we take people and we start correcting their nutrition, they see some fat loss right at the beginning, but it really takes about a week or two for everything to start kicking in. People who just need a basic caloric reduction and are actually relatively easy to help lose fat, those guys are pretty easy because you basically start eating less calories than you burn, and voila, magically the fat falls off. But for some of us, we actually have a mineral deficiency or a mineral imbalance or something that's wrong with the way that our body processes food or sugars or whatever. And those people take a little bit of time for their body to start kicking in to be able to use fat as a good source of fuel. So for those people, you'll notice that you may see a little bit of change within the first week or two, but not really much. And then if you continue to stay on the nutrition plan that I tend to recommend, which is some lean meats for fat loss, some lean meats, lots of vegetables, dog bowls on the floor, then after about a week or two, your body will all of a sudden kind of kick into this magic mode where all of a sudden you start to lose much faster. It's like your body gets revved up, all of a sudden you start to see consistent results, and your body is kind of in a new form. So there's a couple different things that you can do to check your mineral levels. The first one would be to actually just start taking a regular multivitamin, which I think is absolutely essential to help round out your nutrition. Another one is to actually get blood work done, which would be the most beneficial. There's a chiropractor, holistic guy that I work with a lot in the Northville area who can do a hair sample test, which is really, really good. It really tells you a lot about what's going on inside your body. You can get your blood drawn to check things like vitamin D and different hormonal levels. And then there's another test that you can do that I've just used as kind of a general marker. And it's a really simple test that's a zinc test. I was reminded about this because I got an email from the guy that I learned this from today. But the zinc test is really simple. And in my opinion, if you do the zinc test and you figure out that your zinc levels are dramatically low, it's a pretty safe bet to say that other minerals are low as well. So if I'm looking at someone who's having problematic fat loss, we may say, okay, well, let's test your zinc levels, and if we find out that those things are too low, then we know that in general you have some kind of either an absorption issue or your diet isn't on point or whatever, and we can go from there and really recommend different lab tests from that point. So here's a simple test. You buy a liquid form of zinc, and you take a couple capfuls of it and put it in like a little Dixie cup, and then you take that Dixie cup and you knock it back, put it in your mouth, and hold it in your mouth for 30 seconds. There are a couple different results from this. Either one, you'll put it in your mouth and you'll taste nothing. It'll just taste like water. Another one will be you'll have it in your mouth and you'll taste a very mild taste. It tastes a little bit fuzzy or a little bit weird on your tongue, whatever. The third one is that you'll taste it pretty strong, and it'll taste a little bit weird to think, I don't really want to hold this in my mouth. And the fourth result is that you put it in your mouth and you taste it, and it tastes like trash, and you feel like you need to spit it out. Now, because zinc is largely tied to taste, in the first one or two scenarios, if you can't taste it at all, or you can feel like a little fuzzy, whatever, that can mean that you are very, very, very zinc deficient, and that you definitely want to look at increasing your mineral consumption. The third result, where you can taste it and it tastes pretty bad, but it's still tolerable, that would be, you could be slightly deficient, you could probably use more. And if it tastes really terrible, really awful, then you know, hey, my zinc levels are great, I've got all that I need, and everything is really good. So obviously this is not an all-conclusive test. It's only something that you can use as just one of the many tools. But if you find that it really tastes terrible and you've been having a hard time losing weight, that could be a really good way for you to be able to move forward. So all in all, I think minerals are the bee's knees of everything health and fitness related, and that if you're having issues with that stuff, try the zinc test and see if it helps. Hope that information is helpful for you. You can check out wellfitlife.me or go to mywellfitlife.org, and we'll see you next week for another WellFit Wednesday.